What's up, hobby friends, and welcome to my vlog for August. Pretty much for the month of July, all I've really been working on is miniatures for the Marvel Crisis Protocol game. Pretty much from my own personal collection, and there really isn't much to show again in this video. I pretty much showcased high-res turnarounds of all my miniatures so far, and that was released in last week's video. So if you haven't seen them and you want to go check them out, I highly recommend that you check that video. I'll drop a link in the description below. What I've been working on for the past couple of weeks and what I'm going to be projecting to be working on for pretty much the entire month of August and maybe bleeding into September is working on my modular Marvel Crisis Protocol subway board. A lot of the tables I've been seeing for the game have been pretty much street level, urban environments, or maybe like a park or a parkette. Really, really cool, but it looks kind of same. And Rob Hawkins created this really, really cool subway board for Atomic Mass for their Gen Con display. It wasn't modular, it was a fixed board, and I wanted to take that inspiration and adapt it for my own needs to make something a little modular that could be reconfigured based on the specific scenario or the crisis, and just being able to change it up and have that same board be reusable in different ways without it feeling the same. I've pretty much got the board to a playable state now, so I've got all the different board sections done. I've created the stairs, and I'm using a bit of papercraft to sort of block in my subway trains, which I haven't quite done yet. I have the cardstock printed, so I gotta pick that up tomorrow and make it so I won't be able to showcase it in this video, but I will be dropping it in my Instagram, so make sure you pay attention to that in the coming days. I'm also working on another Marvel commission. It's a roster of 8 figures for a client, and that'll also be worked on for the month of August. Most of the models I've already painted already, so we've got Amazing Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Ghost Spider. I'm also painting the Black Panther in the Killmonger gold suit. So I've painted the figure before, but it'll be a different interpretation this time. So I'm looking forward to working on that. And then there's actually a few models I haven't painted before yet. Doctor Strange, Enchantress, and Medusa. So I'm really looking forward to working on those. They seem like a lot of fun models that I would want to paint, but for affiliations that I don't really intend to field, so it'll be a nice way to paint those models without having to buy them. I also picked up a 3D printer, specifically the Elegoo Saturn, and this is something that I've been on the fence about, whether to pick one up for probably the past year and a half now. And it's only been in recent weeks and months when I've been doing a lot more scratch building, starting with my Junk Force. I'm working on the board currently, and then I have a whole slew of projects in mind that I think if I'm going to be scratch building and duplicating these parts and bits over and over again, it makes a lot of sense just to pick up the 3D printer, be able to mass produce them from a 3D model, and then just fire them off to a printer. I think it also opens up a lot of possibilities for projects that I want to do or could do, but were limited by my ability to reproduce them or to cast the parts using a mold and a 2-part resin or epoxy pour. The resin just finally came in, so I'm looking forward to actually experimenting with that and playing around with it in the coming weeks. So hopefully I'll be able to start 3D printing stuff soon. I haven't tried the software yet, but everything I've run on it and all of the instructions, it seems fairly straightforward, sort of plug and play. So I think I'll probably have to spend no more than a few days to really nail down the actual process. And then it'll just come down to experimenting with how I cut out the files and how I lay everything out to actually print it efficiently and without wasting material and making it easy to clean. In terms of videos I have planned, I don't want to say I'm feeling a bit of a hobby burnout in painting, because I'm not. But I also haven't really had much interest in the games I usually play. So specifically Age of Sigmar and 40K. I'm honestly just not in the right mind space or the mood to collect or play those games. So Age of Sigmar just dropped their version 3.0, and honestly, from what I'm seeing so far, it's essentially hero and monster mash. That's fine. It's nice to mix up the game every once in a while, but that's not how I want to play the game, and that sort of killed a bit of my interest to really expand my jump force or play any games or paint anything for that game. And it's the same with 40K, where pretty much everything right now is dominated by Space Marines, and then unfortunately without events, our gaming circle really only has 4 40K players. And we're slowly collecting Xenos armies, but for the most part, it's 3 Space Marines and Necrons. So it's that Strength 4, Toughness 4, 3-up save stat line that we're used to. It gets really boring to play against, and I think until we see more variety in armies, the Orc Codex coming soon, I want to see Tau, Guard, Tyranids. Until we mix up the meta within at least our gaming circle and incorporate more of those armies, I'm not really interested in playing 40K either. And it's also why I've been deep diving into Marvel so much, which I'm actually really, really enjoying. So in terms of video content that I'll be producing, it's going to be primarily focused on Marvel, either painting miniatures or showcasing the display board I'm working on, or potential 3D printing related videos on how to use the 3D printer, how to create certain models or set it up. I don't know yet, but I don't think my videos for the next few weeks or even months are going to be anything Age of Sigmar or 40K related. I already have a whole bunch of videos recorded for my Patreon, probably about 7 or 8 figures, so that schedule's pretty much set. For my YouTube, I have a couple of models that I can paint for video tutorials as well, although I don't think I'm going to do a full length front to back. Instead, I'm going to be focusing on painting specific parts of the models, so painting different skin tones like Caucasian, Asian, or black skin tones. And then I've been interacting with a lot of different Facebook groups for Marvel, and one of the things I'm seeing a lot of people struggle with is painting certain colors. Now, it's mainly the brighter colors like yellow and white, but I think it's an opportunity for me to create a video series showing how to paint these basic colors on different kinds of primers, so black, gray, and white. And hopefully I can break it down in a simple and easy way to follow that basically demystifies the complexity or the difficulty in painting these colors, and it can be a video library that I can then point to instead of having to explain every single time, oh, how do I paint white on black primer? I can just drop the link for the video and be like, check it out. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you want to check out my other socials and like or follow, I will drop a link in the description below. Until next time, happy hobbying.